What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Pedro and Hannibal YouTube channel. My name is Hannibal. Trying to coordinate an Uber ride for my wife. It's not working right now, but I'm hanging out with my good friend Pedro. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Are we live this time? Hold on, let me see. Okay, we're live.
We're definitely live. I did not mess up like last time.
I just want to make sure we both messed up last time. What's up, man? Where's the wife going? Somewhere fun, man? So you trying to get her Uber somewhere?
No, it's going to work. It's just this guy. The problem is my house is on a corner. You've been in my house before.
Yeah.
And the guy stopped. It was a really long block. So he stopped at the very far end. It's cold. It's freezing. And I don't know. He doesn't understand where my address is, but he's not coming all the way to the front of the house.
Bad driver.
Yeah. So now I'm texting him to come to the corner.
You know, there's NYC drivers, man. They got all those legislations now, and they're getting lazy, man. They don't want to do what they need to do, you know.
Oh, who knows? Man? I mean, I would say okay. Now he's there. Okay, now I can tell him. Yeah, he's there. It's always a language issue. And most of the time, it's a language problem. They were trying to do something. They're not understanding exactly what's happening. But that was a little annoying. It's kind of cold. Not every person, you know how this is, where the roads the sidewalks get really frozen. Some people actually clear it. Some people don't. So you're like, on ice skates walking down the street. But that's funny.
Listen, gig is coming in hot. That might be the comment of the night. We just started the stream. It's pretty good.
Working a corner, like The Wire. That kind of thing, drugs related.
Well, what would Hannibal be? Is he slinging that rock, or is he slinging something else in the corner? What are we talking about here?
If I had to choose what to do first, I'd probably sell drugs first before being a prostitute, which kind of shows like
I would hope so.
What we as society we look down more on a prostitute than a drug dealer. I mean, a drug dealer is, you could say, is contributing to hurting people, while a prostitute is just giving nothing but positivity and good feelings all around. So ideally, I should be a prostitute instead of a drug dealer, right?
That's a good man. I don't know which is worse or which is looked down upon more.
Yes, in the chat, guys. This was not planned. What would you rather be, a prostitute or a drug dealer? Put one in the chat if you.
Listen. I would rather be a drug dealer, but I don't know if is that the real question, or is it which one is worse for society? Like, what?
Well, no, it's a personal thing. I would say drug dealing is worse than prostitution. Yeah, I definitely.
You think so?
Right off the bat, yeah. Someone selling fentanyl is damaging the community more than a prostitute is selling.
Don't they kind of go hand in hand?
Yeah, well, yeah. Obviously, sex involves everything. You're gonna put sex in everything, and also the problem is with sexual stuff. We'll be talking about that later with my NBA owner and Knicks in terms of trafficking. So yeah, drugs, sex, trafficking, that all kind of come together. But we're talking like just strictly you're an independent contractor. You're not forced to do any of these things. Would you rather sell drugs or sell your butt? Now I knew you was gonna say drug dealer because this has been chronicled on this show. Pedro really values his body. He only has sex with the most amazing women. He can't be bothered with anything. So you understand that he would rather sell crack than sell his body. His body's a temple. We all get it.
All these things are true. I definitely, when I don't want to smash Dolly Parton, that means all I fuck with is dimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely. Yes. Of course, you make it seem like Dolly Parton is some kind of like old, big, slobby woman. Like, she's a great looking woman for what's she, 103 or something? Whatever the age is.
We've talked about Dolly Parton a lot the last since Thanksgiving.
I couldn't name 3 songs, bro. Like, if you gun to the head, name 3 Dolly.
I'm
not into country music. I don't.
Her most popular songs probably Jolene.
That's familiar.
When she was young. It's a pretty good. But besides that, couldn't name you another 2 songs. You're right.
Yeah, because country music is like a whole different stratosphere. Like, there's people that I have no idea. They make way more money, have way more influence, but it just doesn't connect with me. Giggity said a prostitute on drugs. Well,
most prostitutes are on drugs. I think this is how I look at it. I think if you're a prostitute on the street, you are on drugs. If you're an escort or sex worker, you might not be. That's how I look at it.
It's all the same. It's all the same. I mean, different variations of the label. It's all you're selling your body, but
yeah,
I would say a fair amount are on drugs. Let's say 90. No, but it's high. I would say it's high because drugs is used as a tool for the pimp to keep them doing it for the most part. Because it's the act that I guess going back to what's worse, that some women are doing it because they're forced to, and how to survive is they use drugs. That's why I say a drug dealer is more damaging to the community than a prostitute.
No, you're right. Especially now with the fentanyl and they're mixing all this. They're basically playing pharmaceutical reps in their pharmacists in their kitchens, and they don't even know what's going on. Oh, what did Bobby say?
Yeah. Bobby says you wouldn't swallow those melons, Pedro.
I couldn't or wouldn't. He says you couldn't swallow those.
You don't want to because again, only the best, Pedro. He can't get $3,000 for $1. Can't do that.
All you guys in the chat that wanna hit on and smash Dolly Parton. Amen. Kudos to you. It ain't for me. I'm sorry.
Well, Pedro, usually the crowd is always against me. So when there's something that me and the crowd can agree on, I will run it into the ground because usually I'll say something about an artist I like to listen to or some activity I was doing or I'm wearing Crocs right now. And I get assaulted here. So
you do.
Big Carl says the D comes with a fee. You guys are overvaluing your penises. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You guys are overvaluing. I don't know who you guys think you guys are. I'm talking to Pedro for the most part.
Shit, you better talk for yourself, bro. I don't know what you on, but shit.
Yeah. Oh, here it goes. Pedro's gonna let us know what he does.
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
No one asked.
Speak for yourself. I'm Brooklyn over there.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, okay. Well, all right. You value your penis. Put a 1 in the chat. But so I haven't done my bets yet. The NFL bets. Has anything changed since less than 48 hours ago?
Not that I'm aware of, and I'm gonna wait until I guess Friday or Saturday, whatever. I think there's game Saturday, so I'm gonna wait for the day before, just to make sure nobody gets injured or hurt. You know what I'm saying? I hate to put a bet down and then Josh Allen gets hurt, and that changes the dynamic.
But they do give you. I think at least FanDuel will be able to. You could back out if something fucking crazy like that happens. Where, but I don't know if the other ones do that though. It depends on what kind of bet you do.
Where I'm going is DraftKings, right? Yeah, DraftKings. So I'm not sure what they do. I'm gonna wait till the day before. I'll place my bet on the three teams I think is gonna win, and that'll be that.
Yeah. Could you believe this? I actually looked this. This was on my timeline about the Dallas Cowboys coach staying on another season.
I saw that.
What's your thoughts?
I don't think that's a bad. I mean, they've won 12 games each year. They made it to the playoffs. I know they expect more in Dallas, but what are you going to get? Who's going to be better than Mike McCarthy, right? And he also, I think he's the offensive play caller as well, I think. So who are they going to bring in? Unless you get Harbaugh or Belichick or you get Tomlin from the Steelers, which I don't think that. I mean, those are the three people, or Nick Saban maybe. But
Belichick, bro. It's Belichick. It's all coming together. Jerry Jones is going to give the Brinks truck as much money as possible for, how many years he's going to have him? Probably max, maybe 2 seasons or something like that. And they actually need 4 to kind of, so you have to give them a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
That's
what if Belichick for 4 years? You're Jerry Jones. How much are you paying Bill Belichick for 4 years?
I'm not so sure. I'm not familiar with a lot of coaching contracts, how crazy it is. But I know just recently, this is NBA though, and I agree with his contract with Eric Spoelstra getting $100 million. He deserved it. He deserves it. I mean, I know I didn't give him a lot of props when he was coaching with LeBron because you have LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. He should win. But no, he's a great coach.
Did you see that they waited to sign that contract after his divorce was final? So he didn't.
Which is pretty out. That probably would happen, obviously. I mean, he still got to pay child support. His 2 young kids. I think it's 2, 3. And he married.
Yeah, but he's paying child support on the income that he had before the deal.
Right. But how you telling me that this woman won't able to go back to court to say certain things change, certain lives, and I need a little bit more child support?
Period of time you have to wait.
Yeah,
I think 3 or 4 years. So he's saving probably a few $1 million, I would imagine.
I don't want to criticize.
But let me ask you. before we get into, I know I asked you about listen. As far as Dallas, I mean, yeah. What's he worth?
Well, going back to the number, I would say
10
like, yeah, like
10, 20,
if
10,
20, 30 million, like something very expensive because you got to attract them. I don't know if Bill Belichick necessarily cares that much about the money, but everyone cares about money to a certain extent. Anyone, I still believe anyone could be brought. So it would have to be high, like whatever that is, 25 million a year. Yes, it's a big investment, but
if you think that's going to get you over the hump to win a Super Bowl, it's worth it because all the money you're going to make from that Super Bowl win and the merchandise and all those things there's no. I mean, you could write a check for $100 million, and that would still, if the Super Bowl's coming, it pays for that, right?
Well, of course. And Jerry doesn't care about the money. The money, he got the money.
Yeah. So Belichick interviewed. Before I get into the Eric Spoelstra opinion, Belichick interviewed with the Atlanta Falcons. I saw something on ESPN or on my ESPN feed.
For real? Bill Belichick actually what?
He interviewed with the Atlanta Falcons, and I saw that. Yeah, I saw that, and I'm thinking to myself, what is Bill Belichick when he's sitting at that table to be interviewed? What fucking questions are you asking Bill Belichick?
Yeah.
What do you like? Well, how does it?
It's not necessarily as an interview. It's more of when a player, when LeBron was a free agent and he was able to travel and people had these presentations, or when that dude, the pitchers from the Dodgers, he's not interviewing to get on a team.
Yeah,
you have to attract him to get on a team.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, he's interviewing the Atlanta. Is how I look at it.
I'm thinking of all the teams that need like they kick the coach out. That's a team like the Titans look better. Don't you think would you rather have the Titans?
I'd probably rather be in Atlanta with the young guys that they got, the running back, and I'd probably rather be in Atlanta.
But again, young guys. He's going to invest and stay there for the 4 years because it's usually what they get 4 or 5 years. And at this point, at least take a shot, but they didn't. They're like, nope.
Yeah,
we got our guy that won a championship a really long time ago and underachieved ever since. So I'm as a Giants fan, I'm happy with the choice. Yeah, keep the guy. Clearly, he hasn't been able to figure out how to go over the hump, so that gives us a chance to do something.
And Big Charles, RIP to that assistant coach of what team? Did you hear about this?
Golden State. Yeah, he had a heart attack during the team meeting or team dinner.
Crazy.
And he passed away. Athletes, man, big dudes, tall guys, heart stuff is always a concern.
He's in his 40s. I mean, we're not.
It happens stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. It happens, right? Like, usually it's because if they didn't. Sometimes if you go to the doctor and you get something checked out and get it checked and caught early, it could save your life. Either valve or something is not pumping as much blood as it's supposed to. So I definitely need to go get that checkup because now in the 40s. Have you done the butt thing yet?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you want to talk about it?
It was great. It was a great time. Great hour.
Great. Come on, be honest, man. Don't give me shit. Like it was annoying, wasn't it?
He was very tender and nice.
He was a dude.
He did it, no gloves, just raw. I mean, it was fantastic.
Pedro, you know what that means, right? You know what that means. It'll be great for the show.
I know.
Get a different dynamic, but
I'm bisexual. I know it's fine.
You're bisexual.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen. Men and their prostates. If you're 40 years old, you gotta get it done. It's.
Well, I didn't turn 40 yet, so I can wait till next year. I turned 40 in September. Yeah. Probably hard to get an appointment from September to December. I could wait until
Don't put it off, man. Don't put it off.
Yeah.
You gotta take care of it. Or if you want to do some kind of non-medical kind of deal, there's other places you might be able to go and look into some things. But for me, it's like that's a big deal. Prostate, cancer, all that shit.
Sorry. So 40 years old?
Yeah.
All right. The butt stuff. Yeah. I mean, the whole colonoscopy, the process sounds terrible of what we got to do to prepare. I'm like, that sounds awful. Like, I don't want to do that at all.
That's actually more inconvenient and worse than the 5 minutes you're in there. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, whatever. I need. Listen, I'm bringing the car. I need all the parts checked out. I need to see if all the valves are working. If all the oils are lubed up or whatever. I mean, I'm there for that reason.
Oh, it's gonna be lubed up, bro. It's gonna be lubed up. Don't worry.
Bobby says, did he kiss you first? Well, I think that's a question for Pedro. Don't let him take it. No one. Listen, these guys they took a Hippocratic oath to protect, life. Not to touch each other, touch taints of men.
We're going to talk about creepy Lolcows tonight, and I'm sure we'll get into that with the Knicks owner, right, Dolan.
Well,
but there's doctors doing that shit too.
Yeah, I call James Dolan a Lolcow for a big reason. Obviously, he just sucks. But so we got the bets. We got the bets all done. I mean, we're not changing our minds, and as if we're both doing it.
Yes, but I'll go over mine. I think I'll go over mine real quick, and I want to get into Eric Spoelstra real quick. I got an opinion on the child support deal. But as far as the picks, I'm going Detroit.
You got Detroit, you got the 49ers.
49ers, Ravens, and I'm not doing anything with the Bills and Chiefs. Unless something crazy happens where one player's out, I'm leaving that game alone. I'm going to go those 3 instead of the 4. If I do all 4, I feel like I'll lose the parlay. But I'm going to go 3, bet 100. That's probably going to be like $280 or $300 win, something like that, because I'm betting the favorites. So we'll see how it goes. But that's my bet. So
I just want to see the Chiefs Bills line.
The Bills have got to be favored by a few points. I was like 2.5, 3.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Well, this little Yahoo pick thing. They said Bills are favored to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bills only a 2.5 favorite.
2.5. Yeah. So and at home you usually get 3. So it's basically almost 50-50. So
don't bother. Let's be real. Yeah.
I'm not touching. Unless I get there and then I see if I pick the Chiefs, my odds of winning more money go up that much more.
Well, I'm assuming the more money people bet on the game, the more money you can potentially win, right? So if a lot of people are dumping a lot of money in the game, then that kind of makes it, I guess, appealing to try to jump in as well, right?
Yeah.
That's a pick of me. I do not know. I'll say right now. I said on Monday, I'm hoping the Bills will win. Kind of, changed up a little bit. I like Mahomes. I like the whole Taylor Swift thing was annoying, but Travis Kelce, he's a likable guy to me. He seems real chill.
I got no problem with him. He's
a cool team, like the coach, but Bills, come on, Josh Allen, don't throw 5 picks, please. Throw 2 tops. You can still win. Don't if Josh Allen throws 3 picks, that's where Patrick Mahomes come out of nowhere with a fucking pass, throws it, behind his legs into fucking Kelce for a touchdown. Like that's what happens.
Listen though, Josh Allen has not been as turnover prone the last 2 months since they've been on this roll when they needed to win every game. He's been playing really, really good football. Hasn't been turning the ball over as much as he did the first 10 games of the year. So he's real hot right now. So, but with a guy like him, things can go, astray.
And you say even with that, you still don't think you're going to put any money down. Like it's still
it's just too. It's in Buffalo. It's in Buffalo. It's too close of a game to call. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, back to Eric Spoelstra. You said you had an opinion on.
So he got divorced. They need to have a couple of young boys or kids. Right? They were married. Obviously, he's making good money. He's got to pay child support. It is what it is. But let me ask you this question: do you think? So if he's making, let's say he's making $10 million a year. Let's just say that's what the number was. And right now with the new contract, he's going to make 20. Let's say his salary's double. Yeah. Do the expenses of the mom and what the kids need, does that double to where he should pay more just because he's making more? What's your opinion on that?
No, I mean, of course not, but that's not how the family courts work. If she can demonstrate she needs more money, then it's possible that he can pay more money. But usually the fact that sometimes you want to go to court to get that final, because that's what 50 Cent did. 50 Cent was paying a lot of money out of court, like just talking to his baby mom and giving, and she just kept asking and asking. And he went to court to, it's like, okay, this is ridiculous. Child support will be finalized. And it doesn't change that often, it obviously depends on the case. But Yeah, it's possible she may go back. Oh, she may not, because she actually got a lot of flack online. I don't know why necessarily, but it was like she fumbled the bag and
Yeah, so
she stayed around. Like, who knows who broke up with whom?
yeah,
He still got paid, but it is interesting with that dynamic of him being. I don't know if he was in his 30s or 40s. He was kind of a little older. And he married. She was a dancer.
yeah,
For the team. Like,
yeah.
come on, bro. Right?
Listen, I mean, we don't know what happened and why they're divorced.
You're the coach. I've been saying you're a coach. You see the players. You see what they're doing and messing with the ID models, messing with the cheerleaders, and you go get to Miami and you just get enraptured and everything. And then you get yourself a dancer.
He saw the moves and was like, "Listen, I gotta have it." So I mean, they got married, they had kids, so obviously they were doing something okay. But I'm just my whole thing is like, yeah, if you doubled his salary and he's making more, how can she, if she does go to court, how can she say that the child's expenses have gone up just because he's making more? It doesn't make any sense.
Listen, lawyers can finesse shit and make in terms of finances going on. Oh, my baby father is a very famous person. We need security. You just throw anything out there. Need private schooling, like where we live, how much money. Things just come together, and the judge just decides it. Like, yeah, go that direction.
It's such a weird thing. I've seen some. I saw it like a TikTok or something on some social media where a woman was defending her baby daddy. They had never been married, and she goes, "I don't want him to pay child support."
Yeah.
And her thing was, I'm defending him and looking out for the best interest of my kid because I want us to have a good relationship. I want him just to be present, provide what he can. I don't want to take him to court, take his money, and make him feel bitter or angry. And you see all these guys not paying or women not paying. And her thing was the long term. I want us to raise this kid together and come into agreement. I want us to be like partners, even if we're not together. So she was like anti child support, and I find that interesting because you don't really hear that a lot,
Yeah. Well, it's interesting how he got in the court in the first place to do child support if she didn't put him there. But maybe something happened and they had to resolve it in court or something like that. I think it could, to be honest, does it change relationship? Probably, because a lot of times the man is mad that they work all these hours and you get your check and there's not a lot of money left. Or you can go to jail if you do not pay your child support. Like you can warrant for arrest, you go to jail. The problem is going back to what you're saying about how much money is actually going to the child versus the mother. That's a whole thing where you can tell she's probably using the money for other reasons. That enrages the father, and obviously they're not together anymore. So do I have a lot of experience? Unfortunately, I do not. So I have no idea how that works.
What do you mean? Unfortunately, fortunately,
fortunately, yeah. I mean, where if that were to happen, I would not want the court to be there, to be in that arrangement. It was like, hey, how much money do you need? And it'd be like a true business discussion. That's you just throwing out some wild number. I'm like, just because I make a certain amount of money, like how much money do you need? And obviously, emergencies, situations where someone needs help. Cool. As long as that stays like that kind of arrangement, that's great. But when the courts come in, that's the third party, and that's where things kind of get crazy. But some men need it; they don't pay, so the woman has to go and get some kind of support.
Oh yeah, I think, and as a woman, I want all the ladies listening, you got to take care of you and yours. And there's a lot of scumbags. But to her point, it was like she was like, I'm gonna look at this in a different way. I'm gonna come at this from a place of like love and respect and trust. And it seemed like for her situation, it was working out. They weren't together, but they were financially helping raise this child together. And it took away some of the pressure, I think, and allows her to continue to have like a stronger relationship with him that's more open and trusting. And it's just, every situation is going to be different. But there's a lot of dirtbags out here that just don't give a fuck, and then it sucks for the good guys. Like some of y'all in the chat, I think Big Carl is referencing some things.
He's referencing something. And like I said, don't pay child support. It will suspend your license. So you can't get to work. Like there's certain things that are in conflict. Like you putting someone to jail. Yeah. Well, they're not going to definitely able to earn this day. Like, is there some kind of arrangement that can, bring someone that may be behind on bills?
Yeah.
Big Carl was talking about his situation. It said my son's mother was ordered to pay me child support because she was absent on drugs. So it goes both ways.
Yep.
Of because it's being a single parent is really hard. From not necessarily my experience, but dealing with single mothers or friends and family, dealing with a child by yourself, it has to be exhausting. I mean,
Bro,
I get exhausted after a few hours with them. I'm like, yo, go to your mother. Now, a single parent, there is no go to anywhere. You got to deal with this child all day. And it weighs on me.
Man, shout out to the single moms and single dads out there. I had my daughter's 22. We weren't ever married. We did live together for a very long time, but we were raising a child in separate households. It's very hard. It's hard on the kid. It can be hard on the kid. It's hard on the mom and the dad. It's not the way it puts a lot more stress financially and physically, I think, on all parties involved. Doing it the way now, we're together and my daughter's here, and it's such a better situation. But to do it as a single parent, man, it's not easy. I had my daughter for about 6 months when she was about almost 2 years old, and it was just me, and her mom was, doing her thing and trying to get a good home and all that. And it was hard, man, because you're the only parent, and like you have to be 24/7, and you don't ever get breaks. It's very difficult.
Yeah, that's where, and I will also say it's the same. I guess another point of this is if you guys are not getting along, you guys should separate, because that would make things easier. I think child don't want to see people fighting. Like, separation is necessary in certain situations. Big Carl says, my hot take is if there wasn't government assistance, there would be deadbeat mothers, more deadbeat mothers than deadbeat fathers. I mean, someone has to pay for this child. Like, money got to come from somewhere. So government assistance is going to always come in to help. And how they help is a little different, right?
Yeah. So nothing but silicone. Welcome. Can an NBA owner really be a Lolcow even if he is a scumbag? Good question. Let's get Hannibal's thoughts on that.
Well, definitely depends on obviously depends on the owner you're talking about. But I would say the worst owners in the last 25 years were like Donald Sterling, Dan Snyder, and James Dolan. So So as a Knicks fan, I have a real, I'm in New York, obviously, and the amount of stupid things that this guy was doing contributes to the fact that the Knicks have not won a championship since 1970, 5 or some craziness, like a long time, and he has contributed to some of the nonsense that's been going on. The hiring practices. Isaiah Thomas should not have been doing anything. And also, we're going to talk about this case right now, sexual assault. Dolan has sexual assault history with some other lawsuits a couple years ago, included with Isaiah Thomas. So this thing, let me show you guys right now. Let me put it up on the screen real quick. But I'll also say the Knicks are doing well. They're a good young team, which is interesting. It's a good team that everyone's kind of old and we're overpaying. Like, that's the usual thing. Young, solid. They play well. They win, and they beat bad teams up, which is always a good thing. When your team beats up on bad teams, it feels good. So he's not really. I don't know if he's as hands-on as he used to be. Maybe that's the reason why the Knicks are winning. But this thing, what he's done right here, or accused of doing, is pretty terrible beyond just basketball. So New York's Knicks owner James Dolan and Harvey Weinstein accused of a sexual assault. So the lawsuit alleges that both men separately abused massage therapist Kaylee Clough. The detail is kind of crazy. Basically, from what I'm saying here, apparently he did this about 10 years ago. While she was 27, Dolan was 58, and the Weinstein was 61 years old. Croft claims that Dolan manipulated her into a abusive sexual relationship during the 2013 tour of his band. Have you heard his band?
No.
It's bad. It's bad. JD and the Straight Shotty. See, that's another thing too. When you become really, really successful, whether you're a billionaire or you're an actor or something, you just are like, oh, I have a band now because I listen to a few songs and I'm really, really rich and I can just grab 3 other idiots that I pay them all and I'm gonna have a band. James Dolan has a band. And this poor woman had to deal with that shit. I mean, again, allegedly.
Yeah.
And then apparently, Dolan coordinated a meeting between Croft and Weinstein. And we all know Weinstein has done everything they said he'd done. He was disgusting. He was a predator.
If you're on the list of Weinstein, that's not a good thing, right? Like that's if you're moving in the same rooms and doing the same shit Harvey Weinstein was doing, that says a lot about you.
Yeah. Weinstein is currently serving a 23-year sentence for rape and sexual assault. But his attorney, Weinstein's attorney, which I guess he still has one, and Dolan's attorney says this has absolutely no merit. And I think I did see a comment here. Bobby saying civil suit, a lottery ticket. I know that's a common, sometimes even common critique of people who decide to wait until right before. It seems like there's a time limit for lawsuits and certain things, and right before you drop the lawsuit. Now, when Diddy was sued, he paid 24 hours later. Like as soon as the accusations came out, he sold it immediately. Now it looks like Dolan may not be selling, but it just came out yesterday. So it depends on what kind of text messages, what kind of evidence.
Yeah,
I'm
sure she's gonna have proof first. She's gonna have something. If she has anything, then she's gonna get paid. If she doesn't, maybe he'll go and he'll fight it. These are allegations, right? Anybody can say anything about anybody. These are allegations, right? So we'll see what happens. But the thing that got me when I saw the news thing I sent you today, it had the word trafficking on there and massage. And I'm thinking, where's the trafficking coming in from? Is she from another country? Why do they use that verbiage and that lingo to describe this situation?
Well, the fact that I don't know where she's from, but right here, she says, quote, I have suffered so profoundly because of what James Dolan and Harvey Weinstein did to me years ago, and it is not an easy decision to come forward and seek justice. She says, quote, James Dolan manipulated me, brought me to California to abuse me, and then set me up for a vicious attack by Weinstein. So trafficking is either he paid for a ticket for her, or somewhere he was responsible for the transport of her going to another. Yeah, anytime you go across state. So like if a dude is pimping some woman or taking a woman from New York to Jersey, less than 6 miles, actually less than that, that's trafficking. That's stuff coming in.
She knew him from New York or whatever, and then she's Dolan like, hey, buddy with Weinstein, like, hey, you're gonna meet one of my other buddies, and then Harvey Weinstein's also gonna sexually assault
you, because he's based in New York. He's touring, so people actually pay tickets. Actually, it may not, but he's touring. So he, massage therapist. He, obviously whatever, allegedly abusing her. He says come to California, and she's saying that that's what happened. So we'll see. I mean, and it's possible it could be just a cash grab, but Dolan was accused of sexual assault in 2007. A former Knicks executive accused Dolan of firing her for complaining about sexual harassment by Isaiah Thomas.
I remember that.
Yeah. So Isaiah Thomas, man, what a phenomenal player. Decent coach, but a terrible executive. Like, I don't know what's wrong with him.
He was a decent. Did he coach the Pacers?
Yeah, the Pacers are a decent team.
Yeah. He knows basketball, very articulate, like very passionate, like. But yeah, executive wise, I think no. He obviously did not have a good tenure for that.
No, it just didn't work, and that's this long history with James Dolan. With the Knicks, James Dolan did not buy a team. His father bought a team. His father built all of this. And, he built everything. He owns the Rangers. He just got there because his father had it. So he didn't earn it. And, it is what it is. I mean, I know people get upset about nepotism and you shouldn't give your kids whatever. Listen, if I somehow have a lot of something, my son will have it. That's my kid. Like when was it is what it is. But
That's
James
part of
Dolan,
giving back, giving down for your kid. Like you it's part of your legacy. And if your
right?
kids fuck up, that's not necessarily on you.
Yeah, it depends
Good
on
thing,
how much you could have done to.
yeah.
So like we could all blame Jim Dolan for not training James on how to run a team. And the problem is the team just keeps making money anyway. Like the Knicks make money whether they are losing 10 straight or they're winning 10 straight. So I guess like New York Knicks, like he'll never sell a team. He'll never sell the Rangers. He won't sell it. Just the two
Well,
guys.
but he's at Madison Square Garden. We also got to realize they're also making money in revenue on way up, like events and concerts and all kinds of that's involved with one of the biggest arenas and worldwide famous arenas in the entire world, Madison Square Garden. So he's definitely making money all over. But I think what interests me is like sometimes you have these gentlemen, these guys that are running these big organizations and these teams and whatever, right? And the problem is they made it home, right? They hit a home run, but they started on third base. You know what I'm saying? And they don't realize they were born on third base. So it was easier for them. So they have this false sense of like reality and they're very entitled and their egos and, their father or their grandfather wasn't like that because they built it from the ground up. And I think he kind of falls into that. And I think we see this with athletes and professionals and people that are successful. And we have these stories with Deshaun Watson and Robert Kraft and these massage therapists. Like, what is it?
I think it's textbook. It was textbook like predators for the most part. So that lawsuit or that suit that the former executive accused Dolan, the court ruled in her favor, and Dolan had to pay a part of the settlement. So and there's a bunch of other just things that he just seems like a bit of a man child. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All the evidence comes. Nothing but Silicon says ever since the case involving the entire Duke lacrosse team, I can't just take their word for it. That lady did a lot of damage, both those boys and women around the world. I totally agree, and that's why it's good to investigate it. I mean, that's what the court's for. Yes, civil suit, a little different in terms of guilt and how it's ran more than a criminal case, but there's a pattern of behavior too. So it depends on what's happening. Like if another case came out with Bill Cosby, like Bill Cosby, like 40-some women. I'm like, Bill Cosby, my hero. He was until I'm like, all right, one or two, but 40. I'm like, you did something with one of them, man.
40
says it's too many.
40 women ain't lying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Even if 20, it don't matter. One is bad. So like one is bad, but 40 just came out of nowhere, and you looking weird, and Harvey Weinstein with a lot of stuff. So I would say it does not look good for James.
No. But hold on. Right now, he is still the owner of the Knicks, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
He's still okay. So something like this, when it's not Isaiah Thomas, that somebody that was employed by him, and it's him, the NBA can get rid of him, right?
They could try.
Just vote him out or something.
Yeah, that's what they did with Donald Sterling with all of those leaks of the audio coming out saying you can do whatever you want, but don't mess with Magic or don't touch Magic. He was really, really upset that his girlfriend hugged Magic Johnson. It was kind of weird.
Yeah,
but
she was embarrassing him by being with like a black man. And he was some racial things there.
Yeah. He was a weirdo. Yeah. So the NBA kind of forced him to sell.
Yeah.
Could they do that to James Dolan, the guy who run? I guess so. I mean, I don't know if it's one owner bigger than the whole group where you just more billionaires to coming together just trounce whatever you have, even if you are a billionaire. So it's possible. But then that's a big thing. Like, okay, you push him out the Knicks, he still owns the Rangers. I don't know who owns Madison Square Garden. I don't know if he does.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not, actually. I don't think he does.
Or not. He has. I mean, clearly he benefits just from his team being there. I would imagine.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it would probably be a group of people that would come in and buy the team, whatever. I don't know if I think him being the other owners, it makes that team not be as successful as it could be. I think Jerry Jones kind of fits under that umbrella as well. So maybe this would be good if the Knicks got a new owner. I don't know. Ownership group.
Sure. James Dolan is the owner of Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Wow.
That would be difficult to push him out.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty. Yeah.
What is his? What's his?
Yeah, he owns it.
What is it? What is he? What is his?
Probably a lot of fucking money. Probably.
How many billions is it?
I would say at least more than 5.
Has to be. Especially with 2 or 3 professional teams and the Garden and whatever else he's got.
ChatGPT is doing his work right now. I could just Google it, but whatever. Come on, hurry up. God damn it. It actually messed up. The ChatGPT did not understand what I was asking.
Let me read this comment from Nothing But Silicone. So what happens if he's voted out? How long does he have to accept an offer? He's going to lose a lot of money because people know he can't say no for very long. I would imagine Alyssa says $2 billion.
Yeah, I mean,
I would think it'd be more than that. I would think if the Knicks sold, they'd get more than $2 billion, right? No.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of teams that were sold, look what Daniel Snyder got for the sorry, I was going to say Redskins, for the Commanders.
Yeah,
multi-billion-dollar. So yeah, he would get more than that. The Knicks, I mean, is the Knicks as important as the Lakers? No, not now. The Knicks need to win. They need to put banners up. But for some reason, it's one of those really storied franchises. It's more valuable than Washington Wizards or some shit. It's more valuable than some of the smaller teams. But if he sold it, he'd be like a couple of billion up. But he won't. He's not gonna do it. He's not
crazy,
man.
I don't know. Would you?
He's got the Rangers. He's got Madison Square Garden meeting every concert. He's probably getting some. Why would he? He's like, fuck y'all. I'm not selling.
Would you rather have a lot of money and do your free time to do whatever you want, or would you like to and enjoy running a sports franchise?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think I would probably rather do whatever I wanted, because I think burnout does happen with everything. Even running a business, and you're looking to be like hands-on running a team, because being hands-on, that burnout is possible, especially if your team is losing. You know what the fuck you're doing. So that'd be fun, but imagine you in season 15 and you're still grinding and hopefully get this draft pick or this trade or get this right coach. I can see why they get Gray really early. There's a lot of stress, even though it's just a game, but it's more than that, right? It's business, it's money, it's ego. What will you do?
All your decisions trickle down to a lot of people that are employed by that company, the team, so everything that you do, thousands and tens of thousands, in some cases, people are impacted negatively or positively. So definitely a lot of pressure to own a team. But at the end of the day, these guys got so much money, I'm not going to feel sorry for them.
It's kind of like a CEO, right?
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in being a CEO because you really don't have a life. Your life is this company. You have to be there. I know a lot of people think that CEOs are just on yachts chilling. No, they're the ones who basically live. They're doing the 80-hour days, because when things go wrong, they're the first ones that can get kicked out. But they also get paid a lot of money, obviously.
Yeah.
And they take all the slings, arrows, right? Like, you guys all want to beat up Dario Khosrowshahi, right? You guys want to kick his ass.
Yeah.
That's why they pay. That's why the investors who have way more than he has pay him to deal with that. That's tough, man. You got to deal with that.
I'll tell you what. I'll if Uber wanted to hire me off the street and fire him, I'll take that job for with all the pressure and everything that comes, and I'll take it for 10 years.
You don't think that beard of yours is gonna get a little grayer?
It would get full gray, but my bank account will be fat, and I'll do it for 10 years and I'll retire. I'll be fine. I take all the bullets. I get people striking in my office. I don't give a fuck. I'll make all the decisions I need to make, whether the best ones I can do that, and then I'm out.
Yeah. I know we're talking about gig stuff, but it is interesting. I was watching the rideshare professor, and he was talking about how Dario Khosrowshahi needs to keep this share price on Uber at a certain number for at least 90 days. and if he can do that, the bonus is $50 million.
That's crazy. That's
CEO, man. That's that CEO. I mean, top companies, but yeah.
So how can he make decisions that don't benefit him and the shareholders? Because he's got $50 million to lose. Is how I would look at it if I'm him.
He's only caring about the shareholders. You can't think about anybody else. You're not gonna think about a driver or a rider. You're like, wait, I get $50 million in 3 months if I just keep doing this shit that I'm doing and fucking everyone up and pissing everyone off. We'll lie and say we don't take that much from you. We're only taking 20%. What are you talking about? Yep. That's a powerful incentive, but that's the reason why CEOs, for some reason, are so valuable. That if he got fired, he got let go, he decided to quit, a bunch of companies will try to grab him because he made the company profitable. He must know what he's doing. But $50 million. So I don't know if that's going to work. I think that price is not going to stay there, but he's going to fight to keep it to stay there, right? 50 million reasons.
Crazy incentive. So he's going to do everything he can to make sure that happens. I mean, if I was him, that's what I would do. You don't want to be unsuccessful at your job. When he's not the founder of CEO, he's not the founder of Uber. He's the CEO. Two very different things. He was brought in after the Travis guy got booted out, right?
They were supposed to change the culture and everything.
Yeah, change the culture. And some things they implemented. Some things I think that were actually more positive. But at the end of the day, man, you're running a company like that's global. You're gonna piss a lot of people off. So tough spot to be in, but. Once again, I don't feel sorry for him. The guy's got a lot of money, so I mean, he's a lot of money and a lot of power. So
but nothing but Succone says maybe Eli should run the company. He has said over and over again that he's the main man that can't be brought. Sure.
Yeah, right.
But look, what is he doing? He got the business. He got a couple of subscribers. Got members. They're only talking there. He only talked to them. I think he's pretty happy. Like he's only talking to people who agree with him.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems boring, but it's, he's got a little echo chamber. He got his little cocoon.
One thing to run $1 billion company, and another to run $100 company out of your mom's. Literally, it's $100 company. Very things. So
$100.
Yeah. What's up, Joe? Buddy?
I mean, it is, but it is.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about that. But I haven't seen too much detail more than what they're saying about James Dolan, so we'll see. I mean, it doesn't look good, but Dolan, I don't know, man. Dolan's one of, you just look at his face; he has a smug look. He don't give an F, man. Like I didn't do it, and there's no evidence, whatever. But he can't settle. I think if he settles, it looks bad. But maybe he did. He's just settled a sexual harassment suit 14 years ago. So
I mean, settling though, as a business move. Maybe it's not bad because you just get it done with. You don't drag it out. You're not spending your time in court. More things don't come out. So I think sometimes when you settle, it doesn't necessarily mean you're guilty all the time. Sometimes it's a time management business move.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if I'm him, if I'm guilty, I'm probably gonna settle. Or if I don't want the headache and I got all this money, I'm just gonna here's a check for $20 million, leave me alone, and I'm done with it. And that's that.
Well, I mean, it depends. I don't know. I feel like NBA, they really wanted to be as progressive as possible. So if it comes out that you're settling, it may not look good because you rather fight the charges. Like there's some charges you should not, to me, settle. If someone says you abused me, like I'm not settling. Like, I did not do this, so we'll go all in on this one and make it because I think his response is gonna probably be like it was consensual. Well, if there's some text back and forth that she's sending to him, then he has a case.
Yeah.
She's looking, you know what I mean? So it depends on the situation.
Good point. It could have turned into massages and then he asked her out on a date. It's consensual sex, but she felt manipulated, but it was consensual and any kind of correspondence that backs him up, then he should be able to fight that if that's the case.
Yeah, we'll see. That's $100.
I mean, I'm not saying it. I'm not throwing shade. That's just the reality. Yeah.
Well, let me see. But yeah, there's no more information, so we'll see. I think the next one today. Yep, they beat the Houston Rockets.
They're on a roll, man. The last 2 weeks, ever since that trade, it's hot.
You're doing their thing. I mean, I was watching a little bit of Celtics beat up on Wembanyama. Wembanyama is doing everything he can do, scoring over 30-some a game the last couple of games, just going crazy. The team sucks. The team is
nobody else on that team.
No. There was an interesting trade, or not trade idea, that Trae Young may be interested in going to the Spurs. What do you think about that on Sunday?
I saw that because he's going to become the scapegoat in Atlanta at some point. He's not a rookie anymore. He's been in the league several years. Very talented.
He can't be the guy. He needs help. He need to be the second, third guy.
He needs somebody else because he does.
He's small. He's a small guy. Never how small he is.
He's a small dude. And they brought in DeJounte Murray from the Spurs to play off ball with him, and that hasn't really worked either. So if you went to the Spurs, that could be interesting. That's a dynamic duo because Victor would basically cover up some of Trae Young's shortcomings, right? And they would work together pretty well because Victor doesn't demand the ball, right? And Trae can still do his thing. It stretches out the defense. Victor could do his thing in the paint. It could be an interesting dynamic.
Victor be shooting threes, man.
No, he does. But what I'm saying is he wouldn't have to necessarily do all of that. I think Victor can be a stretch five and he can do his thing, but he's going to be best being a rim protector and playing that inside and occasionally shooting threes. And if Trae Young could do his point guard thing, throwing all the lobs to Victor, stretching the D, giving Victor more room in the paint to battle one-on-one, because now you got to worry about Victor giving it back to Trae for a three-point if you come on a double team. That could be a dynamic two-man team. So that would be interesting.
It's like me being on the corner instead of selling drugs, I'll be stretching that D.
Is that what you would be doing?
That's all I heard when you said stretch the D. I'm like, yeah, the prostitutes. Anyway, there's a couple of questions. Joe said Rams-Lions game was pretty exciting, huh?
How about the Rams-Lions game? Yeah, I thought the Rams were going to win, but shout out to the Lions, man. Shout out to the Lions.
Poor man Steph Curry. Yeah, definitely. But he just seems to be more of a liability defensively than Steph.
He is.
Steph will get some steals a little bit.
Steph's actually a little bit bigger than him. Steph's gotten bigger, gotten better with defense over the years. Trae Young's still pretty small.
I don't even see him. I don't know where he's waiting to get the ball back to go back. Dashing Simp says the real question. I don't know if Pedro watched a lot of UFC, so you may not know. Who you got this weekend? UFC Strickland? No?
I feel like I've heard of this Strickland guy. The other guy, I'm not sure. I don't watch UFC that much, so
you should. Listen, I'll give you a stream link to watch it.
I'm good.
Allegedly. So before we end it, we may all have to apologize to Josh Giddey, guys. We have to apologize.
To who?
Thunder's Josh Giddey.
Oh, so Josh. Apparently, what happened?
He won't face charges as police closed the investigation.
Wow.
The people in Newport Beach, California, will not pursue charges against Oklahoma City Thunder guard Josh Giddey after closing the investigation into allegations that he had an improper relationship with an underage girl. Quote, after a thorough and exhaustive examination, we have completed our investigation into information that was circulating on social media involving Josh Giddey. Detectives have reviewed all available information and were unable to corroborate any criminal activity related to Mr. Giddey. So that means
this is my question. So maybe she wasn't underage when
she looked young in the picture. I'll tell you that right now. But
but technically she might have been 17 or whatever, and in that state.
Yeah, apparently it was an older picture, and the ages weren't like him being 21 now. It was
you can do all kinds of shit. So I mean, listen, if the police and the family's not mad about it, who am I to judge? I guess we don't have all the info, so it is what it is.
He could have paid her off. Not saying
it's not good for his reputation, though. I mean,
yeah, he's been booed every time he's definitely in road games. He's getting booed. But he's still decent. I mean, he's scoring 12 points a game. Actually, he had a couple of good games recently.
He's a role player. With the way SGA is playing and the Chet guy and they got two other good guys on there. He's kind of a role guy. He's not the main. He doesn't need to be the main guy. He's not the main guy. He's basically the fourth best player on that team. So it's not. It's almost like if they lost him off the team, it would lose some depth, but they wouldn't lose a whole lot. So
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, this is good news for him, though. I mean, he denied it. He always denied it. He just has a face that looks like he did it, but there's not enough evidence. There's not enough evidence. It's public opinion, and it's just an opinion you don't have because you don't have enough. Unless that girl says something, but
girl, she's a woman. She's a girl. Very.
Yeah, the girl kind of brings up, hey, this what happened. We'll move on from there. Peter, did you win the money?
I did not win the $700. I lost. Thanks for asking, though.
Yeah, but we're going right back in it. We're two gambling degenerates. We're going to go in there again. Just go for a few favorites. What could go wrong?
Everything. We can lose. Parlays are hard to win.
Yeah, parlays are hard, but a 3-leg. I think that's a safe bet. At least as safe as it could possibly be.
Yeah. We'll see.
And the final word about Josh Giddey. What do you think? Like, he's good. I mean, nothing came out. Even though I think most of us will now remember the end result of that article. Everyone still remembers him being accused of it. Like, what do you think?
I think he'll be fine, but it's not good for his overall reputation. People aren't going to forget. But at the end of the day, if nothing else came of it, any real evidence of him doing anything that was malicious or bad or illegal, then it is what it is. He's still very young. He's probably only a couple years older than the girl. Laws are different in Australia. Maybe he thought he was doing, we don't even know if they had sex. Like we don't know everything, right? So just because there is a video doesn't mean he did something. You can assume, and our eyes.
Picture. I didn't say video. I saw a picture.
You saw pictures, right? Exactly. So, I've seen videos of her saying things about him, but she's a young girl. I just think, guys, these NBA players. One thing I think we can learn is these NBA players got to do a better job of thinking long term and not risking any kind of situation for some woman, for some girl, right? Yeah. These guys got to do a better job of being
professionals. You guys are businesses, they're brands. Yeah, so they have to.
You got to be smarter, man. Yeah.
Yeah, we all can't be giggity because you can't put in everything. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to vet out some. Be Pedro. Pedro doesn't touch anything. Nothing touches him. Because his body's very special. You can't be just like right.
No.
You get mad when someone touches you at the goddamn grocery store. You're like, fuck.
Yes, don't touch me.
But Silicone says, how come Pedro didn't get to play in the NBA? We saw him. We also shooting that rock at Bullwinkles.
Hold on. How come Pedro didn't get to play in the NBA? Because I'm and I'm not that good.
Yeah. Shaq said he will take SGA over Luka right now.
Oh, that's a tough
I'm assuming one. Because SGA plays defense. I mean, I'm assuming, right? Like he plays and Luka seems to
that's tough because they're about probably the same age. So I don't know. That's a hard one.
Luka beats your best defenses.
Yeah.
So like
he has more assists per game. SGA though is a dog, man. He's been really good the last year and a half, 2 years. That's a tough one. I don't know. I guess it depends on what other pieces I have on my team. Right. If I have a more complete team, give me SGA. If I have a team that doesn't have a lot, then I'll take Luka because he tends to do. Yeah. I think he's a little.
And I know the trade deadline is coming out soon. I think they're not going anywhere, Dallas. Do you move? I know Kyrie looks like he wants to move. LA, I don't know how they're gonna get that done.
They're going to be in the playoffs. They're 24 and I think 20 or something. They're going to they'll be in.
Yeah, I'm just sort of wondering, like, is this it? I mean, it's almost half the season. There's times where Kyrie will score 40 or Luka score 40, but if you got two players that don't like playing a whole lot of defense, right? Yeah. Kyrie can play defense if he wants to, but Luka does. I don't know if Luka plays defense.
No.
So your two best players can't play defense. I don't know how far you can go.
Well, and then they brought in the Grant Williams guy from Boston to kind of help with that, and a few other guys. Yeah, you your better players on your team in the playoffs at some point are going to have to play defense, right? So that's the problem that they're going to have. That's why you look at teams like the Clippers, or they got guys that can play defense.
They got some guys that play defense.
Hot. The Thunder, they got that check guy, rim protector, SGA. They play some decent defense. Boston plays
obviously,
Bucks. So there are teams that their superstars play defense, but Dallas definitely isn't one of them.
Yeah. So we'll see. And then I guess we'll end it with that's height discrimination page. I mean, hey, gotta be tall, man. We all can't be Muggsy Bogues and Nate Robinson and
we can't.
What's some other really famous NBA players only 6 feet?
Bud
Webb.
I mean, Allen Iverson was only like 6 foot.
The newer Isaiah Thomas, I think he's only 5'9".
Yeah, he was short, 5'8", maybe
5'8". So like, that's it.
Yeah, but those guys were super athletic.
Yeah,
I mean, very fast. I'm neither of those things. So if I was 6'9", I would have played somewhere professionally. I mean, there's no doubt about that. If I was
just
tall,
your height,
yeah, just because of my height and the skill I did have, I would have played somewhere overseas or something. But I'm Puerto Rican. I'm short. It is what it is.
You're making the best. You're making the best of what you got.
Street ball.
Street ball legend. Fuck the league. The league is out of soul, man. It's the streets, the hardcore. That's where legends are made. Okay, I must be tired. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I don't know, guys. You will see us on Monday, richer than we are.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's monetarily, not just with love. Who gives a shit about that? But real money. Because Pedro giving us stone cold locked picks. It can't go wrong, he said.
Locks. Lock it in.
You can bet it in. You can bet it. Write that. Take it to the bookie. Apparently.
Disclaimer: Don't. We're not professional.
Yeah, professional. But click our draft links link if you want 200. I'm just joking, guys.
We don't have that yet.
Not yet. But have a great weekend, guys, and we'll see you on Monday. Peace.